Ladies and gentlemen, the Ford Explorer in my garage is waiting on parts, so I have about an hour to kill. Let's make another piece for my 93 Geo Metro. You know, it's kind of amazing how many people out there don't really understand what it's like to be poor. I get a lot of comments saying that car's not worth saving, and if I really want one, I should go down south and buy one that's rust-free. I can't afford that. I'm a self-employed mechanic, not a neurosurgeon or a rock star. My average weekly income's around $400 a week, and I have to be quite dishonest with Uncle Sam to make that. When I pay my bills, I'm completely out of money, and I still have bills to pay. So I really don't have much money. But I'll tell you what I do have is a lot of metally bits laying around here, and occasionally I get an hour or two where I'm not really doing anything at all. I probably should be cleaning, but this is what I'm doing instead. This alignment isn't going to be perfect, but I don't plan on driving this thing down the freeway anytime soon. All I did is measure from the center of this wheel to the center of the front wheel and match that distance with the other side. Then I measured the back of this brake housing to the back of the brake housing on the other side and matched it with the back of the brake housing on the rear to the back of the brake housing of the rear on the other side. And it's center as far as I can tell, but that's where it's going to be. Now we gotta make something to put right here. I welded these two pieces of steel together like this to make this shape right there, and I'm just gonna put that right up in here. Not too beautiful, but that's where that's going to be. Then I'm going to weld some flat piece of steel on the bottom of that so that this little thing right here has something to bolt to. That might take two hands to push it over that rubber, but that's the goal. Let's get everything cleaned up and welded in place. Everything's clamped together just the way I want it. Now I'm going to try to weld that in place. Hopefully it sticks. Well, that's not pretty, but it seems to be attached. Yeah, it ain't going anywhere. Now that I have that piece in there, I just need to attach this strap to that piece. What I'm going to do is cut a piece of this steel right here out and weld it to the piece I just put in. I know this metal's pretty heavy. It doesn't need to be this heavy. This is just what I got laying around. That part of the car isn't holding the weight of the vehicle. It just keeps the control arm from moving forward and back. So, not necessary, but it'll do it. There we go. I don't know what I'm going to do with these pieces, but I'm not throwing them away. Now I need to clean this up and drill some holes. There we go. Punched some holes with the old Black & Decker using a soft metal drill bit, but I had some transmission fluid to lubricate it with, so it cut through pretty nicely. And I think that's going to be great. I'm going to weld a couple of nuts on this so I don't have to hold them with a wrench when I tighten this strap on there. Then I'm going to weld this thing to the piece that I've just put on the car. There we go, something like that. Now I just need to weld it to the car. That's beautiful, isn't it? There we go, all that's left to do now is bolt the strap in there. But before I do that, I'd like to paint it, so I need to let this cool down. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. The control arm is attached to the vehicle again. I know it doesn't look that pretty, but I've struck it many times with the 2-pound hammer. It's going to stay right where it is. I'm not worried about it at all. Now let's get on to that other side. That's that whole mess over there. That, I'm not sure if I'm going to try to reinforce it or just cut all that out of there and make that side look like this one. We'll see. And although I'm only using the jack, it seems like all of the suspension is moving correctly, exactly like it's supposed to. I'm happy with it. Next chance I get to work on it, we'll do floor pans and shielding. I can't wait.